Losing my voice a little bit today, but we'll make do with that. Let me go over to my group and just get this posted. Hope everybody had a great week. It's not showing up on my channel yet. Can't post it if I can't see it. It says upcoming, but it should be playing, so let's give that a try. Shut off the volume so that you don't hear. All right, here we go. Grab the copy. Well, this just makes interesting TV, doesn't it? All right. Hello, Miss Carla. Took me a whole minute and 20 seconds to do that. Hope everybody's having a great day and had a good weekend. I had a fantastic weekend. We did the virtual crop that I've been talking about over the last several weeks, and there was 10 or 12 of us at different times, and we did a ton of crafting and laughing and talking and sharing and inspiring, and have a few things that I'm going to show from that today that I did over the weekend. I also did a bunch of prep for an upcoming in-person event that is coming up in just a week and a half. Really excited about that. Let me see here. So, hello, Miss Glenna. All right. And Miss Lisa, how are you all doing? Let me put the camera down so you can see what I've been working on a little bit, and then we'll also talk about what we're going to do tonight. So before I do, let me start with what I'm going to do tonight. I've only been out of work for about 30 minutes, so I'm not quite 100% there, but tonight we're going to play with the paper pumpkin. It's called Sweet Springtime. It's a February kit, and I'm going to use that to do a little bit of play. And somehow, as I was getting ready, I couldn't find the Granny Apple Green ink. That it's one of the color coordinated colors, but we'll just use some lemon lime twist. It's close. So anyways, let me flip this over so that you can see my desktop, and I'll show you some of the things that I made this weekend and talk a little bit about them. All right, I just need to come over to my computer so I can see comments. All right, so one of the things that we do is called Four Things. It's fashioned after Craft Roulette, and we have 4 different categories that we spin the wheel for, and then everybody gets to nix one item on the list. And so the 4 things that you got from the wheel might not be the same 4 things that we end up with. There were certain areas that got changed many times. So the project that we had to make was a book binding card. We were supposed to be inspired by butterflies for our colors. We had to have something that wrapped. And what was the 4th thing? I don't remember what the 4th thing was, but it's, oh, I do. All right, so anyways, colors of the butterfly: pinks and oranges, purples, blues, probably not greens, but I mixed some of that in there anyways. Something that wraps. We've got the book binding. And then the random one was notebook paper. So I used, looks like I need to do this so that we can see a little bit better. There we go. Now you can see the whole card. So I pulled some notebook paper out of my notebook. and it said, "Beside me all the way, Happy Father's Day." On the front, it says, "You've always been there for me, beside me all the way." So that was one of the things that we did, was the four things. Another thing we did is there were challenges, and this one was a sketch challenge. And if I pull out do I have my book handy? I have it here. Hopefully I can find the sketch really quickly for you. It should be at the back of the book. Oh, so this is the sketch that was shared. Hello, Judy. Hello, Kenzie. So this was the sketch that was shared in the group, and they took this to make a card of their choice. And this is what I came up with. And so while my sketch showed rectangles here, I chose to make them the little birdies. And this is part of the online exclusive that just went live. And I really liked playing with that. And using up a lot of my paper. Oh, there's a bit of a glare because it's already in a package. But maybe that's a little bit better. All right, the next thing I have for you is we did a color challenge. And actually this wasn't for a color challenge. It was, we had new people in the group that hadn't done a one-sheet wonder and didn't really know what it was. And so I kind of found out what they were using for stamps and kind of played with something similar. They were using dragonflies. I didn't have anything like that. So I went with the birds. And I have to tell you, this is one of those ones where they say, trust the process. Because when I first started, I'm like, I don't think I like this. But when it all got I really did like them. So we have two with red ribbon that's retired, but it went with what I had. And then two with the blueberry bushel. All right, so that was just teaching how to do a one-sheet wonder for someone who had never done one. Next up, this was actually a color challenge, and I didn't love the colors. So I thought I would do something different. And I made a background, and you can't really see all of it because I have put stuff on top of it. But I made the background, and then I used some of those elements in the colors that I really did like and stamped them again and cut them out and put them on top of vellum with a few pieces of bling. So that was one of the color challenges. This here came from, thanks, Miss Glenna. I love one-sheet wonders too, Miss Kenzie. This here came from our mystery card challenge. So I tell people up front to cut some pieces of paper that are this size, and then I give them very general instructions on how to do it. Now, if you had been part of that class, you would know that these two pieces were actually big enough to cover the entire card front. But when I did mine, I chose not to put them down. I wanted to have a border. And so this was the mystery card challenge, and everybody's was so good and so different. It was kind of cool. One of my favorite things is seeing how everybody else takes all of this stuff and makes it their own. So that was one of the challenges that we did. And that's it. Next up, this was a color challenge. And instead of just stamping, I decided I wanted to make a collage. And so I tore up some papers and pasted them all down onto a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And then all I did was stamp 4 of these in the different corners and cut them up and decided to make them as my card fronts. So funny story on this one, when I went to go put it all together, underneath here it says, anxious headache or nervous headache or something like that. And I said, well, I didn't really want that juxtaposed next to my new mom with her, her new baby. So I decided to cover that up with a little stamp that says, when a child is born, so is a mother. So I do caution you, if you decide to do that technique, that you really do need to be careful about the wording that you put down and how it juxtaposes to your stamps. So that was one. This was the second one that I did from the same one sheet. May all the love that you gave me come back to you on your special day. And I used the same one again here. I originally had stamped the people in pumpkin pie, but I didn't love it. It wasn't showing up enough. So I came back in with the Blackberry Bliss. And so we've got a little bit of a shadow, which I thought was kind of cool. I did have one where I didn't get my shadow. Didn't love the shadow because it was too big of a shadow, as you can see. So that one didn't work for me. So I might play with that one later and come up with something different. There's something funky going on my computer. There we go. All right. And then lastly, we had a card class. And this was an additional class that they could purchase if they wanted to. If they didn't want to purchase it all pre-cut and whatnot, then they did get instructions so that they could do it along with me. So we have a box, and it's a shaker box. And this was actually inspired when at our last virtual I asked people what they wanted to do. One person said they wanted to do a box, another person wanted to do a shaker element, and so they got married together, and we now have a shaker box. There was also a stamped element that I didn't have that said love. So open it up, and they made one of each of these cards. So I have two of each because I have my samples and the ones that I made along with them. So this is so much, and this here we just colored with alcohol markers, and that's the same one. And then we have Happy Valentine's Day. They all got a piece of white cardstock a little bit taller than that, so that they could put their own sentiment in if they did not have that particular set. This one's quite narrow, and you have to be very specific with what stamp set you can use on that. So I gave them something just a little bit taller, wider. And I did not stamp that during class. Next up, we had these lovely little cakes with a candle and mimicking the flame with the embellishments. And the first one, this was actually the first one that we did, I think. And this is the piece that is missing on my box front. I had was supposed to have a love there, but I didn't do it. Sometimes that happens. All right, so that was actually that was only a very small part of our weekend. There were a total of 9 challenges posted, and people posted their challenge creations inside a special group that I have just for folks that have signed up for the crop. They also posted it on their personal pages, and they posted it in my Facebook group that I have for all my customers. So if you would like to see what people created last weekend, come join my group. It's Crafting with Clydeen, and just go ahead and sign up to join. Let me know where you came from, because if you don't answer the questions, I will reject it and say, hey, please answer the questions. I mean, I would love to have people come, but I want to know where they're coming from. So that was the weekend in a wrap. Oh, there was one more. That was another one of our sketch challenges. And I did that one using up some of my scraps from the Gone Fishing paper. All right, so let's move on to new stuff. Working with paper pumpkin. This is the February paper pumpkin. I did get to play with it a little bit and put it together just as they show it here. So we have a little milk carton box that you can fill up with goodies. We have a short slim line. I don't think there's anything on the inside. And then we have a standard card size. So those are the three projects that they put into the paper pumpkin. But I thought tonight we would play with those items and see what we could come up with. So I don't really know what I'm going to do, because as I said, I was only done work for about 20 minutes before I came live. Actually, it was about 30 minutes, but I had to eat. So there you go. All right, let's put those aside. In the kit, you got all sorts of fun stuff, which I'm sure they show us somewhere. Right here. You got the card bases, you got the box bases, 3 sets of cut-aparts, envelopes, twine, pop, dimensionals, and glue dots, and tear and tape, and a stamp set, and. I can't say enough about how much fun it is to get a paper pumpkin, have everything show up all coordinated and ready to go. And sure, I do one of them the way that they do them, and then I have plenty of coordinating things all on my desk ready to go to play with and come up with something else. Hello, Patricia. Welcome. The bunny and ducky images are so cute, Glenna. I just, they're adorable, and the stamp sets make it so that you can recreate some of that, should you like. All right, so here we go. Let's play. Let's play. The colors that coordinate with this. This is supposed to, ooh, I found my granny apple. It got put in with the oranges. I don't know how, but there you go. Whoa! Timber. We've got Granny Apple, Petal Pink, Pecan Pie, Early Espresso, Daffodil Delight, Crumb Cake, and Berry Burst. So according to the sheet that I was just showing you, those are the coordinating colors. So we've got that. I'm going to put those off to the side here. We have some elements left. We've got a couple of what could be tags. I think we're going to make that into a tag. We have some banners, different types. We have the die cuts of the really cute bunny and chick. And we have the wreaths and flowers, daffodils. And then if you were really careful about punching things out, you ended up with this really cool frame, which they use in the design. So if you've gotten this kit and you haven't used it, be very careful. Oh, and there's a little piece here I didn't punch out. So tell me, did you guys get a chance to create last weekend? I created all weekend long. It was pretty cool. I've also punched out a couple of circles that I thought we might use, and that is the entirety of my prep. Here is the stamp set, showing it to you in the paper first so that you can see. Got a cute little bunny and some daffodils, little chick, springtime greetings, welcome baby, and happy Easter. And then we have all these fun elements. Shall we start with a tag? Do we think we want to make a tag? I think we do. And I don't know that I'm going to use an awful lot of those boxes, so I think I'm going to play with this one and maybe cut it into different pieces so that I can use it in my creations. So I think we'll start there. totally winging it. So if you have ideas of things you want me to try, throw them in the chat and I will look at the chat every now and then. And maybe we'll try them. Has anybody else done any playing with this paper pumpkin yet? You know, I've only had it 2 or 3 weeks and done nothing with it, so. All right, so I think that would make a really cute border. So we're gonna cut right on that line. And then give myself a bit of room to play with. And then I'm gonna cut on this score line here. And then let's see if we do it like that. Super cute. Where's my glue? Here's my glue. Patricia, I would love to see what you come up with when you get a chance to play with this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back side here. And then line this up at the edge. Pull out my snips, my snippity snips. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to see where the inspiration takes us today. And then I'm going to snip here. The reason I did it where I did is because there's a score line here that I didn't necessarily want if I didn't need it. So that's how I chose my placement of that. So we could do that. We could, oh, if I had done that a little bit bigger, ooh, maybe like this. But the chicks are really cute, aren't they? What do you think? Should I cover up the chicks and build on top, or should I keep these guys separate? What do you think? Let me see, what else do I have here? I have that as a card base. That's too matchy-matchy. Just looking to see what else is over here. Separate. Yeah, those guys are too cute. Ooh. What if you know, I happen to have next to me some celebration paper from last year that I was playing with this weekend that I betcha we could do something with that. Let's see what else we have here. Just looking at the colors. Oh, and I have all these cutoffs. We'll start with these and see if any of them work. As you can see, I was busy punching out scallops. That's not gonna work. Nope. Just flipping through. so far I'm actually liking blue. I'm gonna put that to the side. Too busy. Too bright. Oh, that was the same thing. The same thing. All right, I think I'm gonna play with the blue. All right. Oops, missed one. All right, I need some opinions. Do we like the more subdued with the white plaid on it, or do we like the busy? If I do the busy, this is definitely going to have to go onto some cardstock to break that up a little bit, I think. But let me know what your thoughts are. So my guy is 2.5 by 2 7/8. So I'm going to cut this at 3. And then 3 1/8. No, actually I want it to be a little bit bigger. Blue with the plaid, subdued, quiet. All right, we're all on the same page here, I think. I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock. A little trouble here. I know what I'll do. I'll bring that pink, petal pink, petal pink. Here you are. So that noise that you hear as I'm rummaging through is that I have these plastic envelopes that I keep my paper in. So, all right. We're going to try and pick that up. Give myself a little room here to cut. We're gonna do 3.5. That's a big tag. All right. It's a bigger tag than I normally make, but we're just winging it. We're going for it. It will be what it will be. Hello, Miss Cheryl. Let's put this side aside. Where's that building? I'm only going to put glue on 3 sides because we might tuck something into the pocket here. Thinking pocket. Can I make that work? Well, that wasn't a very good job cutting. I don't know what happened there. can do that again without messing it up. No idea what happened. Let's see, how long do we want it? Thinking if I do it like this, maybe a half an inch underneath the chicks. Does it fit? It does. So we'll have a little surprise under there. Can have these guys here. And I'm going to fussy cut around. The corners in the top here. All right, we're getting there. Dottage on the trio of chicks. All right, I like that idea. So, of course, I don't have any dottage out. I am going to do springtime greetings. I think. It's going to have to be like so, because otherwise it's not going to fit. And I'm going to pull the green right here, the green. I don't think I inked that very well. So tell me, who's checked out the latest online specials? Did you see anything you liked? That just barely fits. Some might say it didn't really fit, but we're gonna make it work, right? And I'm gonna pull out my crocodile. And poke a couple little holes. And if I were my twine that came in this box, I would be missing. But I do have this twine here right now, so I'm going to use it. It was actually used to tie, like something that I got came tied with this. And I used the something over the weekend, and this is still sitting on my desk. Ooh. Well, that didn't go as planned. My day didn't go as planned either. I, for once, had a day where I had very few meetings. And I was like, I'm going to get so much done. And I accomplished a lot of stuff, but it wasn't the stuff that was on my list. But alas, that's just the way it goes sometimes, right? Somebody needs your help, or you get stuck and you're waiting for somebody else to help you, so you move on to something else. All right. So we got this little guy going in here. And then we're going to pop this guy up, I think. Ah, here's the twine. My desk is a mess, at least for me. It's not the way I like it. down to the edge of the end of my dimensional, so I'm just kind of ripping up the edges. Ugh, but it was stuck. All right, then you can put this right on a card front. I'm not going to get up and find some dottage, but I do like the idea. So that's item number 1. I got it right on the edge. I'm not sure what you meant. Oh, the greetings, yeah. All right, I know that you're always looking for ideas of things to do with your paper pumpkins, so hopefully that works, Miss Cheryl, or something. All right, item number 1. What shall we do next? Yeah, and they get a bookmark. I like that idea. All right, so maybe we can do some type of fun fold with this. Just brainstorming, thinking this might be some type of fun fold. That's too much green. All right, let's cut the envelope apart. I'm all about using this stuff. I mean, it's nice to send a pretty envelope, but I'd rather use it in my cards. Oh. Where's my undo? That should make it work better. Haven't used it on pre-made envelopes, so we'll see if it works. Not so well. But you know what? I'm gonna do this. Whew, that stuff is strong tonight. My husband's gonna come down here and ask me what that is. All right, now I should be able to open it up, and that will dry momentarily. Almost gone. Do you guys use undo? It's like really, really helpful at times. All right, so we got a little strip here. Got a little bit of this going on. I don't know. I'm struggling here a little bit. I'm thinking we don't need that extra piece there, so I'm going to cut that off. Then I'm going to angle this. Just a little angle. I always have this sitting by my desk. I think I want to make it a larger angle because that's really small. This and my crocodile, they come in very handy at times. All right. So we've got a little bit of that. I'm feeling like I might want to do a little bit of inking. maybe the early espresso. Just kind of grunge it up a little bit. I know it's springy and cute, but it doesn't mean you can't have some definition. Using my sponge dauber. Forgot I need to do that under the camera so you can see what I'm doing, right? Gives it a little bit more definition. Judy, I agree, the undo can be a lifesaver. It was this weekend. I was doing a layout class and I put some of my paper on totally upside down and everything was upside down. I was like, oops, undo. You know, I used to turn grunge it up a little bit, but now that I'm doing it, I'm like, it's not grunging, and because I'm doing it kind of lightly. It's just to add a little bit of definition, you know? Especially since it's going on top of something that is already the same. All right. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. Just leaving about a 1/4 of an inch border over here on the left. This guy's going to go here. I'm thinking maybe a couple of flowers. Maybe some gemstones, and inside we'll give them a little surprise. What surprise shall we give them? I think we'll do, ooh. I think we're going to do some daffodils, and we shall use some of the green. So you guys are getting the total raw experience of Claudine designing. Like, hey, I got a bunch of stuff on my desk, gotta use it. So this is kind of thought process that I'm going through. Hopefully you enjoy that. I'm gonna give it some flowers over here. Undo pays for itself, absolutely. I know what you mean. I did one of those this weekend too. We're all human, right? So we got that little guy. Now we can, if we want to, put this in there, but he's too big, covers up too much of it. Where's my stamps? I think I'm gonna put the little chickadee. Little chick, chick, chick. And find the daffodil. I think Undo is with the adhesive, but the last time I bought it on Amazon. So I am gonna stick with this guy here, this little chickadee. And then do I have a small saying? Oh, you can do Happy Easter. Oh. My blocks feel like they're so far away at the moment. They're just at the back of the desk, but It's a long reach tonight. And the green is over here. That green does not want to stay with me today. I don't want more green. What color should I do my greeting in? Should I do a little bit of this? People, nobody told me I was doing it upside down. All the talk about the upside down stuff. Well, I guess we're gonna open it up that way. Oh well. Is what it is. I'm glad I hadn't decorated the front yet. That would have made that a whole lot more difficult. All right, we've got our little happy Easter going. And then we shall put a couple of these guys on the front, I think. I know there's different ones, right? They're so close, but it's actually a little bit hard to tell the difference. Oh well. Put two down. Forgot to cover it up when I wasn't using it. There we go. Put a couple of these guys down, and then I will pop one up. You know, that is kind of funny, all that talk about doing things upside down. But what did I do? I stamped upside down. Ooh, I have a few little thingies on my desk from the weekend. Maybe I'll add just a little bit of leaves there. Yeah, those are too big, but maybe I can just do this and cut it down. I'll just add that little one. I think that's a piece of Pierre Pizzazz or something. I was using up some retired stuff because you got to use it at some point, right? Nope, not undoing that. You are correct. I was like, where did my card front go? All right, well, that's how we're going to do it. Yeah, so undo is amazing. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to stick a couple pieces of paper together and then show you how it works. I will tell you that it works much better with double-sided tape than it does with liquid glue. I find that if I use the liquid glue and try to use the undo, it doesn't work that well. But it works really well with the double-sided tape. Hold on one second. But if I don't wait too long, then I can pull this up, and I'm going to cover it back up again in a second. I am going to use this to tie a little bow around it, so they know that there's something in there for them to do. A little interactive stuff here. Come on. All right, let me try that again. So, see how it does that when you try and pick it up from the liquid glue? I find it's not any better using the undo. All right, so now we've got a little interactive card. They can untie it and have a little surprise. And if they don't realize that they can untie it, they still have a pretty card. All right. Tie this back up, and then we will do a little bit of undo. And then I think I'm going to call it a night. I started work really early this morning, like 6:30. Got done at just before 6:30. So I think I is tired and done for. So I have here on my desk some cardstock and some DSP. I'm just going to give it a nice little thing here. I did not know that, Judy. So now I have this thing and I go, oh, I need to lift it up and I want to make sure it's not going to rip. I mean, a lot of times you can pull it up with no problem, right? But if you've done a good job adhering it, it's been down a while, then you just kind of take your undo. And it's got this little scoop here with a flat edge. And you want to put it under here. And then the flat edge in the undo, kind of, it fills up it will fill it up underneath. And then you gently work your way through it. Now you can tell that most of my glue was down the center because over here on the edge I can move pretty easily. But when I get to the center, it takes a little bit more finesse. And you just kind of work your way down. And you can see that this is very colored at the moment. But you can also see where it's starting to dry already. And then this stuff here, I can just go like that. And then when it dries, I can stick it down and do it all over again. So there you go. Pretty cool stuff, right? Let me flip it back up. Hi. I hope you guys, yes, great on the annoying price tag that they stick on gifts, and they always put it in the worst place, right? It's right over the words or front and center. Yeah, manufacturers are not always our friends. Or maybe it's the retailers, I don't know. There's somebody out there that's not our friend when it comes to stickers on merchandise. I will tell you, it's got a very strong smell to it. You want to be well ventilated. Otherwise, you're going to have different effects from it. But I hope you enjoyed going through the process with me as I figured out what the heck I was going to do tonight, because I really had no clue. And that's why my Wednesday is called What's Up Wednesday, because I never know what I'm going to do on Wednesday. On occasion, I do get to plan in advance, and other times I'm figuring it out as I'm posting and telling you that I'm coming live in 20 minutes or whatever. So I hope you had fun, and I will see you in a week. Bye, everyone.